They weren't just actors. They were rebels who reshaped Hollywood from the inside out. These 5 Golden Age legends didn't follow the rules. They shattered them, choosing bold roles, defying studios, and carving paths that changed the future of film forever. When Gene Kelly burst onto the Hollywood scene, he wasn't just another song and dance man. He was a revolutionary. With his bold athleticism and charismatic energy, he redefined what dance could look like on screen. Instead of sticking to the graceful and polished movements of traditional ballroom styles, Kelly brought a raw, physical intensity that made dance feel real, grounded, and exhilarating. His performances weren't just routines, they were storytelling in motion. Whether he was splashing through puddles and singing in the rain, or performing gravity-defying moves in Anchors Away, Kelly made dance accessible, exciting, and deeply American. He wasn't afraid to sweat, leap, or push physical limits, all while flashing that unforgettable smile. But Gene Kelly also broke the rules behind the camera. He co-directed his own films, experimented with camera angles, and even blended animation with live action years before it became mainstream. He challenged the rigid norms of the studio system, insisted on creative control, and worked tirelessly to elevate dance to an art form equal to acting or singing. His impact went far beyond choreography. He changed the way people saw musicals and gave male dancers a powerful, masculine image to aspire to. Kelly didn't just dance. He transformed the screen into his stage, and Hollywood never moved the same way again. Steve McQueen wasn't just a movie star, he was a movement. Dubbed the King of Cool, McQueen broke away from the polished, rehearsed image that defined many Golden Age actors. He brought a raw, effortless charisma to the screen that felt rebellious and real. Whether he was racing through the streets in Bullet or staging a daring escape in The Great Escape, McQueen didn't just play tough guys, he embodied them. His quiet intensity, piercing gaze, and understated acting style set him apart in a Hollywood filled with over-the-top performances. He said little, but said everything with his presence. Fans loved him because he didn't follow the script of stardom. He wrote his own rules. Off-screen, McQueen was just as unpredictable. He clashed with studios, demanded control over his roles, and often chose gritty, anti-hero characters over traditional leads. He raced motorcycles and cars competitively, refusing to fake anything he could do for real. Hollywood wanted clean-cut charm. He gave them rugged authenticity. In a time when actors were groomed to be perfect, McQueen leaned into imperfection and individuality. He never chased fame, it chased him. And though he didn't play by the rules, or maybe because of that, Steve McQueen became a legend who made rebellion look timeless. Orson Wells was a cinematic genius who shattered every rule in the Hollywood playbook. At just 25, he directed, co-wrote, and starred in Citizen Kane, a film still hailed as one of the greatest ever made. Wells dared to tell stories in bold, unconventional ways. He used deep focus, unusual camera angles, non-linear storytelling, and dramatic lighting long before they were mainstream. Hollywood expected new directors to play it safe, but Wells swung for the fences with his very first film. His style wasn't polished, it was daring. His storytelling wasn't simple, it was layered, complex, and years ahead of its time. But Wells' defiance came at a cost. He clashed with studios who didn't understand his vision and often fought to maintain control over his work. Projects were cut, delayed, or shelved, yet he never stopped experimenting. He moved between acting, directing, and even narrating, refusing to be boxed into any single role. Wells believed film could be art, and he made that belief known, even when it meant working independently or being exiled from the studio system. He didn't chase fame, he chased creative freedom. And in doing so, Orson Wells left behind not just films, but a legacy of fearless innovation that changed the language of cinema forever. Sidney Poitier wasn't just a movie star. He was a groundbreaking force who broke barriers with quiet strength and unshakable dignity. At a time when Hollywood offered limited, often stereotypical roles to black actors, Poitier refused to accept anything less than characters with intelligence, depth, and integrity. His performances in films like Lilies of the Field, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and To Sir with Love challenged racial norms and opened doors for future generations. He didn't shout to be heard, he made his presence undeniable. He wasn't just acting, he was changing perceptions, one role at a time. Poitier's rise to fame wasn't just about talent, it was about courage. He chose roles that tackled difficult social issues and stood firm against the pressure to conform. While other actors played it safe, Poitier walked into history, becoming the first black man to win the Academy Award for Best Actor. He carried the weight of representation with grace, never backing down from the responsibility that came with it. Hollywood had rules. He rewrote them. And in doing so, Sidney Poitier didn't just entertain, he inspired, uplifted, and helped reshape the soul of American cinema forever. Marlon Brando didn't just act, he exploded onto the screen and shattered everything Hollywood thought it knew. With his groundbreaking performance in A Streetcar Named Desire, he introduced a raw, emotional, and deeply physical style of acting that felt revolutionary. He mumbled, paused, fidgeted. He was unpredictable and electric. In On the Waterfront, and later The Godfather, Brando brought soul to his characters in a way that made audiences feel like they weren't watching a performance, but witnessing real life. He made vulnerability masculine, silence powerful, and rebellion beautiful. He didn't follow the script, he transformed it. Off-screen, Brando was just as unfiltered. He challenged the media, fought studio control, and often clashed with Hollywood's expectations. He refused to be a celebrity puppet and used his fame to spotlight civil rights, indigenous rights, and injustice. His refusal to accept an Oscar in 1973 made headlines, not for ego, but as a bold political statement. Brando's life was messy, complicated, and never scripted. But that's exactly what made him legendary. He didn't just break the rules, he erased them and rewrote what it meant to be an actor, an artist, and a force of cultural change.